Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba. All right. Promoter 101. 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 Promoter 101.
This is Julia Frank from Wizard Promotions in Germany, and we're on Promoter 101.
Welcome back, episode 149 of Promoter 101. We're continuing on today with the London sessions. And this week, we've got an amazing featured interview later on in the podcast with Germany's C2 Concerts, Christian Dahl.
Holy shit, Luke. Your voice sounds like you've been gargling marbles or something. What the hell?
Dan, I'm just finished up a music biz conference here in Nashville, which was very productive. A great conference for those of you who don't attend. It's more geared towards record label managers. Not a whole lot of live going on there, but after starting the Delta Ray tour last week in Richmond, Virginia, I pretty much spent 7 or 8 nights straight in loud concert venues trying to talk to people and completely lost my voice yesterday and actually had to call in some favors from some reliable rock docs to get some prednisone steroids so that I could even just be talking for today's podcast. So feel free to continue to make fun of the raspy, dulcet tones of Luke Pierce throughout this podcast.
Well, I just think it's awesome that we're at such a level that you need a rock doc to make the podcast work because your voice is your instrument, sir.
Dan, I shit you not. I woke up yesterday and I had an 8:30 a.m. phone call and I literally could not talk on that phone call yesterday at 8:30. We're recording this podcast Thursday afternoon. And so this is the closest I'm going to get. Hopefully, I'll have it back in full by next week.
Well, with that in mind, we've got 3 questions with Spectacle Presents Pete Lally. Let's just jump right into this.
Let's do it.
This is Karen from 10 Club Ticketing, and I'm on Promoter 101.
Have you missed any of our past podcasts? Well, we can help. We have a support podcast set up for you running day and night at promoter101.net. It has all of the past podcasts, the current podcast. You can go back and listen to the first episode if you want to with Tom Ross on it. We've got them all up there. This week, though, however, we encourage you to listen to episode 89. Tell them about that one, Luke.
89, quite the doozy. One of my favorite interviews from Live Nation Concerts, Omar Al-Jilani, talking about some of the biggest business in global touring, talking about working with artists like Jay-Z, Imagine Dragons. Phenomenal interview. Worth checking out. What else do we have, Dan?
We have an amazing interview with manager from DSW, David Simone, who handles the piano guys. He's worked with Guns N' Roses, and he's just got a body of work that's super impressive. Plus, he's producing some movies now. So one of those managers that can kind of do it all. Kind of like yourself, Mr. Pierce.
He jests. There's plenty I can't do, Dan. We ended that podcast with a great war story from one of the best road managers in the business from the jam world and currently out with Tedeschi Trucks Band. We had Skip Kenneth Richmond on the podcast. Worth checking out.
So if you've got a free moment, please drop us a review or subscribe to Promoter 101 or just tell a friend.
Just let him know.
Say, hey, you listen to that fucking podcast, man, please.
And give them a good review, damn it.
They're just guys trying to do their thing. Listen to them.
Just do it.
They don't know what they're talking about, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't listen.
Hey, there's plenty of people in this business that do this.
Talk without knowing the fuck they're talking about? Yes, there are.
Exactly.
You know, we should name a couple of them right now. You go first.
This is Marcia Vlasic, president of AGI Talent Agency on Promoter 101.
News of the week.
The news of the week is brought to you by Luke Pierce, who, read it. Now he's going to tell you about it.
Now I'm going to talk about it. Starting off news of the week with some news about Pledge Music. The beleaguered direct-to-consumer and e-commerce platform is going under. Pledge Music is headed for bankruptcy as the UK-based company failed to find a buyer following 3 months of searching and heads to administration in the UK. To date, estimates suggest that Pledge owes more than $1 million to artists who have used the platform. Pledge's assets are going to be sold to the highest bidder, and it's the hopes of the court that at least some of these creditors, including the artists, will be paid via the proceeds of that administrative fire sale. Co-founder Benji Rogers, who left the company in 2016, penned an open letter on May 8th, saying, "I'm sad to report that this effort has not met with success and that Pledge Music will shortly be heading into administration. I'm also sorry for all the labels, fulfillment companies, and other vendors affected. And I feel for Pledge Music team members who did their very best to resolve these issues and have been badly let down while enduring broken promises and physical threats that they did not deserve. These were softer words than those offered by indie band Jesus Jones, who was a Pledge Music customer. He said, "Ever since Pledge promised that we were paid what they stole within days, I knew they were lying," the band wrote on social media on Wednesday. Not only that, but I'd realized I'd been lied to in the past as well. This was never going to end up in anything other than a disaster. And the band added further, "It's high time it was exposed for the crime it was. I don't want to play that downward either. It's time that the people that were made to face the legal consequences of the fraud they perpetrated." Crazy words here, and I don't think the last thing we'll hear about Pledge Music. We'll have to keep in touch as that saga comes to a close. Big moves happen in Music City as former WME partner and former Fitzgerald Hartley partner Bill Simmons and Rob Beckham have formed the AMG, an artist management group. This follows the announcement of the dissolution of the Fitzgerald Hartley Company, a long-standing management company in Nashville. And Simmons' longtime management clients Brad Paisley and Chris Young are the first two clients to join the firm. The venture will be headquartered in Houston Station in Nashville. More drama as Woodstock continues their path of planning for the August event. Organizers of the event are suing Dentsu Aegis Network and its live events business Amplify in a New York Supreme Court in Manhattan. They're requesting that Aegis Dentsu return $17.8 million in misappropriated funds from the festival bank account and provide access to cash, according to the papers filed on Wednesday. Organizer and founder of Woodstock, Michael Lang, and his compadres are seeking a preliminary injunction and a restraining order against Aegis Dentsu as well. And in an interesting twist, they're also demanding that Dentsu cooperate with Woodstock 15 Connection to continue planning of the festival, including providing reasonable consents and approvals, according to court papers. Woodstock 50 seeks this emergency as a result of Dentsu's outrageous and illegal misconduct that threatens enormous and irreparable harm to W50, court papers also read. We'll have to see how this drama unfolds in the next coming weeks. And that'll do it for News of the Week.
Hey, it's Mary Hilliard Harrington with Red Light Management. You're listening to Promoter 101.
Opening up our interviews on episode 149 of Promoter 101, we're going to kick it off with 3 questions from Spectacle Presents Pete Lally.
Pete, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
So let's roll right into this. What do you got for us?
So when I was getting started in the business, the great Marshall Resnick at William Morris was a big help and taught me a lot early on. Is there anyone that was a mentor to you when you were starting out?
For me, Bill Silva's always been just an amazing mentor throughout the years. Guys like Bob Rue and Mark Campana and Jason Zink is a go-to for me. You know, it's constantly just the guys that are in your life that you look up to, that you have the ability to ask questions to and reach out to, the Charlie Walkers of this world. It's just like, dude, you're just way smarter than me. How the fuck do I handle this? You know, now Rapino, those guys with those amazing minds, and they've all been so giving with their time.
Yeah, very cool. A lot of people that really helped out along the way. All right, a technology question. Where do you guys see things like hologram shows and esports progressing into our business in the next maybe 5 or 10 years?
Dude, esports is fucking massive space. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger. The number of people that go to an arena now to see people play video games at that level, it's like Tony Hawk or the Globetrotters in the 90s and the 80s, like filling arenas. Kids are asking their parents to take them to watch people play video games, and these guys are the new rock stars of the current day. I think this gets to stadium levels. Like, this is only going to get bigger, and I think we're going to start seeing it on network television, like the playoffs for this, and we're going to start seeing some kind of organized, sanctioned sports division, so it cycles in something, is what I envision in the next 5 years. There will be something like a league of some sort that is just on network TV that may compete with NASCAR and Major League Baseball and the NFL. This isn't getting any fucking smaller.
Yeah, it is unbelievable, the types of numbers that they're seeing.
As far as holograms, it's a little trickier and it's a different place. I think that there's a great novelty with holograms. Clearly, there's a lot of people trying it, and it's a great way to relive things. The Frank Zappa thing is getting great reviews right now. Roy Orbison's out there doing it. We've seen some cool things with the Tupac thing at Coachella a couple years ago. I think it's a great thing, but I think we're going to see everybody crack the technology, and we're going to see this become a lot more common. And you're going to see it come out into the ballrooms and not just the big theaters, and you're going to see more acts. And as that technology gets cracked, we'll just see more and more of it. And it won't be such the novelty that it is as it becomes more and more. It'll be like the cell phones were really expensive when they came out in the 80s, and now they're given away with a year sign-up license agreement, you know?
Definitely heading that way. And last question is, you might know I'm involved with the University of Massachusetts Lowell Music Business Program. So when are we going to do the podcast live from UMass Lowell? The invite is officially being placed.
That'd be great. Let's figure it out. That would be awesome. And I think me and Luke, we enjoy talking to students and doing the campus shows more than any other of the live appearances. It's so great to talk to the future of our industry and hear their impact of where they want to go, what they're seeing, get a little bit of feedback on what they like. I personally enjoy it more than anything else. We've had so much fun, whether it was Berkeley or God, we were just in Philly. We've done a bunch of these campuses, and they're always a blast. We'd love to do it.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. We'd love to do it. You definitely got some listeners on that campus. Come join us anytime you're up in the Northeast.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, Pete, on Promoter 101 for 3 questions.
Great. Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Luke, I'm really glad we started this back up. Clearly, a response from our listeners has been amazing. And we've got more of these coming up over the next couple of weeks. I'm really excited about them.
Always great to have some people that listen to the podcast, ask some questions. We love that kind of interaction, engagement. So if you want to be on 3 questions, hit us up, Steiny at promoter101.net. We'd love to hear from you.
You know, Luke, I'm having so much fun with 3 questions. I feel like we've never had you on the podcast. We should do a Luke Pierce podcast. I think it's time. I think the listeners deserve that.
Whoa. This is Dan. This isn't about self-promotion for us. Why would we be doing this?
I'm not talking about self-promotion for us. I'm talking about self-promotion for you. I think it's time. I think the people need to know what's under the hood of Luke Pierce.
Well,
let's get down deep and really find out what happens when the man gets off the microphone, picks up the phone, and starts managing. I think the listeners want to hear this. And I think we should bring it to them. Don't be selfish, Luke.
Hey, listen, you set up a Chase Lounge in your office. I will lie down and you ask me questions like a therapist, and we'll see what really scary thoughts come out of my head. How about that?
I'm in. By the way, this is the procedure normally for how we get most of the interviews set up. It's a very weird chase of social interaction. And I'm glad we were able to demonstrate it for you. But clearly, coming up soon, Luke Pierce featured on Promoter 101.
This is Mary Claire Borgelli from Live Nation, Promoter 101, best podcast in the music industry.
Tweets of the week.
Hey, y'all ready? It is time for some tweets of the week. Time to see what Steiny's been saying online. Let's kick it off here. Beware of any local act that informs you they sold out their last show.
They may very well have been opening for a bigger act that sold out their last show, as the case tends to be.
It's easy to forget when you're signing all the checks that the artist is the boss.
Yeah, we work for them. No one is buying a ticket to see the promoter, manager, or agent. Let's all get our egos deflated just a little bit here.
That's the fucking truth, Dan. When an artist asks for a new management recommendation, busy one here, Dan. Is this a loaded question? Do I need to be looking over my shoulder right now?
It's kind of funny. I had a feeling this one was going to trigger you. No, this was definitely not Delta Ray or Home Free calling me asking for direction. But it is an interesting thing when you're involved with the management team, you're involved with the agency, and you get the call from the artist saying, we're going to make a change and we'd really like you to help us figure out where we're going. And you're like, but I like the people you're working with. They're why I work with you. It's a really weird place to be in the industry, and I think we all deal with it from time to time. But I think we all like to see when our acts stay with our favorite people.
Working with friends is better than working with enemies, Dan.
Don't I know it?
And that's going to do it for Tweets of the Week. Make sure you keep up with Dan on Twitter. He's at the Jew. Some great ramblings and some great wisdom coming out of the mind of that man.
And if you want to follow Luke, it's W. Luke Pierce, and that's on that Twitter device thing.
And I mostly tweet about DuckTales theme songs and politics. So look for that there.
This is Andrea Johnson from ICM Partners, and you're listening to Promoter 101.
In our featured interview for episode 149 of Promoter 101, we are continuing the London sessions. And this week, we're joined by concert promoter from Germany, from C2 Concerts, Christian Dahl.
Welcome to the podcast, and thank you so much for making time for us.
Hello, and thank you for inviting me.
Germany is a massive market and has opened up quite massively over the last, 20 years?
Yeah, that's true.
The growth economy, it's really booming right now.
Yeah, that's true. We had our dark tales we had to walk through, like all the other economies in Europe. But for the last years, we're doing really good. Our economy is really doing good. Everybody is selling a lot of tickets. People do earn money and are able to spend it on the entertainment industry, and that's good for all of us in Germany.
So can you name drop for me what some of the bigger shows that you did last year were?
Actually, we're just coming out of the most successful year we had in our company's history.
Oh, great.
So we are very happy with 2018. And the big themes for us last year was everything is connected with Christmas. So I had a lot of partners and colleagues joking with me last year, oh man, you're really in the Christmas business. So what we had, the first big thing we had was a sold-out tour, almost sold-out tour with Angelo Kelly and his family, Irish Christmas. That's an artist I work with together over 5 years.
Wow.
We developed this from 200 seats a venue when I met him for the first time. Then we did the first tour in 2016, an Irish Christmas tour with 20 shows, averaging around 1,000 seats. And this year, 2018, we played 20 shows in Europe. So this was my first European tour. We played Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and we averaged over 2,500 seats. With the last show, the biggest one in Dortmund, Westfalen, we had an attendance of 8,000 people. That was huge on the day before Christmas. So this is the one big story about Christmas. And the second one is that, with C2 concerts, we work on a very, very big range of stuff. We do club shows. Our home base in Stuttgart, we develop new artists from death metal and pop and rap and hip hop. We also do German folk music. I made a tour with Anita and Alexander Hoffman there around for 30 years now. That's their Jubilee tour.
What do they call folk music in Germany? There's a word for it, right?
Schlager. Schlager and Volksmusik. Schlager or Volksmusik, it's a little bit different. Schlager is the one stuff that's a little bit more the modern and young and what we have some huge artists there. Maybe you heard of Helene Fischer. I think there's not many artists in Europe selling that much tickets. We don't work with her, by the way. That's a pity. But this is Schlager and Volksmusik is more the traditional. It's more like, it would be folk or country, something like that over here or in the US, and we call it Volksmusik. We do this as well. We produce family entertainment shows, our own. We do like kids and family musicals like Cinderella, Jungle Book, Christmas Tale, stuff like this for over 5 years now. And we also work in the not only shows and touring business like the entertainment or like an exhibition business. We had a very successful first edition of a Christmas garden in Stuttgart. In the UK, it's called Christmas at the Kew Gardens.
Got it.
We've been there, and we have a very, very, very beautiful venue. It's not as big and as nice as Kew Gardens and not that renowned, but in Stuttgart, we have a zoo and botanical garden. It's called Wilhelma, and this is quite an iconic place. They attract over 2 million visitors a year with their zoo and their botanical gardens. Mm-hmm. And we were the first promoters ever to do their show in the wintertime and after the regular opening hours. So Christmas Garden opens doors at 5. It's the same concept we have over here at Christmas at the Kew. And we had over 100,000 people there from middle of November to middle of January. So our Christmas business was...
What's the ticket price on that 100,000 people?
We have a ticket price between 17 and 19 euros. And you have discounts for kids and you have family tickets. It's a family event or it's an event also for couples. It's like, I don't know if Christmas markets are quite common.
Yeah.
In the UK. Yeah. So in Germany, we have a big Christmas market in every big city. The Stuttgart one is quite a famous one. We have tourists come in, tons of buses from Italy, Switzerland, everything. It's like, it's so crowded every day that it's no fun. The locals don't go there anymore. It's like you've been pushed around for your mulled wine and it's so crowded. The Christmas garden concept came from Deutsche Entertainment AG from Berlin.
Got it.
They made the first one in Berlin and then also one in Dresden. And when I saw that, I came to them and said, hey guys, we have to do this in Stuttgart. We have an amazing venue for this, the Wilhelma. And so we're really happy we could set that up for Christmas. So this was our two biggest successful stories last year.
So you're an independent promoter in a market where both AEG and Live Nation both play ball. Does that make it tough? It seems like you're creating a lot of your own content.
Yeah, this is mostly the story, the history of our company. I started working in the business just past my 25th anniversary and missed to make a celebration, but we will have one later. So 25 years ago, I started at Konzertbüro Ludwig. My former boss, Christian Ludwig, is now my partner at C2 Concerts. That's why it's 2 C's, Christian and Christian.
Not unsimilar to the C3 of the Charlies in America.
Yeah, but that's coincidence.
Maybe you guys can merge and it'd be 5 C's.
Oh, yeah. Wow. That would be amazing.
C5.
C5.
I want a commission if that happens.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk again. That was like the typical small German, mostly local promoter office. I came there during studying university and did some stagehand jobs, runner, fly posting, all that stuff. And then got stuck in the office till I finished my career at the University of Heidelberg, and I never left that office. So this is the first job I ever took, and I'm still there. 10 years ago...
Nice job security.
Yeah. 10 years ago, I said, there's only that limit you can reach as being just a small local promoter in Germany. You don't get your own content. You always have to wait till you get the call from whoever, hey, I have this tour going on. Are you interested in taking a show in Stuttgart or around? It's not that many possibilities you get to get your own stuff going. So I said, we have to change something. And that was the main reason to also change the company. We founded C2 Concerts together. My partner, as I said, my partner and me, and we started in a different way to set up our business in a new way. Of course, we still promote a lot of shows. It's between 80 and 100 every year in Stuttgart and the area around. We promote shows from Mannheim to Ravensburg to Ulm to Kempten, Freiburg, even Frankfurt. And then we also started working as tour promoters. The first German tour I did, the first big one, was 2013 with the Harlem Globetrotters. And I'm the German tour promoter now for 6 years. And this is really something I have a lot of fun working with those guys. We're very good in entertainment and business like this for families or kids like that. And we looked at that show. We saw the figures they had in Germany before we took that over. It was only 4 or 5 shows a year. And now we're up to 14 to 16 every year. We play bigger venues.
You really killed it for those guys.
Yeah. It's like everything. It's like your job and job of most people. You can only be good and successful if you love what you do.
Right.
And I worked with those guys as a promoter for 20 years. We only had my show here, show there. And I thought, no, this is a brand. We can do something different, because I was in the US quite often and when I saw them for the first time in the US, Madison Square Garden, a packed house, I thought, oh yeah, this is on a level like this in Germany, because you know how the German culture looks like. We have soccer, and we have soccer and soccer and soccer and soccer, the Bundesliga. And then we have, there's basketball, there's volleyball, there's handball, but overall, it's just every kid is playing soccer. That's the first thing that kids do, even if they start running. And I think in the US, they put a ball in the crib, and either it's a baseball, it's a football, or it's a basketball.
Some ball. Hopefully it's a Nerf.
And this is different in Germany, because it's always the soccer, Fußball, as we call it. But we said, we want to have a nice entertainment show for the completely family. It still has to have that American show character. We can't do German show out of it, but we put on a German announcer. We talk with the Globetrotter guys every year, and even the players, and teach them, German phrases, German words. They do German jokes. Some jokes don't work over here because typical American jokes, and nobody knows the content or the idea behind it. So that's why, and then we put the show on a lot on TV and stuff like that. So that's what we did over the last 5-6 years. And
so you've really just given new life to the brand.
Yeah, this is what we do. We try to develop things like Angelo Kelly Irish Christmas was a really good product when I saw it the first time. And I told him we have to make this bigger. We need to build it up year after year after year. And this is the same what we do over there. So
your business is really about adding value.
Yeah.
That's a great thing. And how big is your staff?
We just reorganized our staff. The last piece of the puzzle is we need a new apprentice. And then we're 10 people in the office now. We started 8 years ago. We started with 2 people, and we added more people every year. And with the next big productions coming around the corner, it may be that we do 2 more and 2 more till end of the year. So
you're in growth mode.
Yeah. A lot of jobs need to be done. So you need a lot of people for this, but that's one of the problems we have in our business, right? You can't just put 20 more people on your list before you have the chance, the opportunity to earn the money back. So first you have to do the big jobs and earn the money, and then you can put in more people to get it all done.
You got to have the shows, right?
You have to do the shows. That's right.
How did you find your way into entertainment?
The first thing what you do, or what all Germans were used to do back in the old days, some 25 years ago, as I said, when you finish school, you either join the army or you do something like it's called a civil service. So you take a year and don't go to the army, but you can work for the community in hospitals or in youth organizations or stuff like that. You got to get back
in some way.
Yeah. And I went to the youth center in my hometown, Fellbach. That's very close to Stuttgart. And they had a club in there, a live club. And so I worked there for 18 months. And what we did was live music 3 or 4 times a week. So this is how this all got started with me, directly after school.
So was that a fluke? That was what you got selected to do?
I knew that they were looking for people, and there were a bunch of people who wanted to get that job, and I was very happy that I got it. So that my boss over there and me, then we booked some bands, and we made movie nights. And
so you got the good gig early on, huh? That awesome.
Directly from there, I went to the university, but everybody needs to get some money during university. And so that's why I started a job as a stagehand at Christian Ludwig's company. And so my first job was, I went, we have a good friend of mine. He was working there as well, like the crew coordinator and everything. And he called me and said, hey, you need money, right? So yeah, of course, everybody needs money. Okay, then go pack your things and go tonight. There's a loadout at a venue. Go and find Christian Ludwig, and there's some lights and PA that needs to de-rigged, and this was my first job there. And then the second one was, we had a show with a ska band, Madness.
Yeah, Madness. Welcome to the House of Fun.
They played in Stuttgart at the Alte Schützenhaus, and my first job was there to secure the backstage door.
You learned from the very smallest jobs up. You did it all.
The only thing I saw from my first gig in the company was see the band walk in and see the band walk out. That's what all I saw, but it was funny.
Do you have the opportunity to work with AEG or Live Nation in your market? Do they co-promote at all?
No, not yet. They do some shows with co-promotions and other promoters, but we didn't have shows.
But you're open to it?
We're open to everything. Why not? If there's a good chance and opportunity, just
good
bring
business.
it on. Yeah, of course.
So what's the future of your company? Where are you guys going?
We started this new arrangement with C2 Concert, as I said, 9 years ago. And I think there's still a way to go for us. We want to do some more tours, 1, 2, 3 a year. We want to continue with that successful new Christmas garden we have there in Germany. So that's a project that should run at least for the next 5 years, I hope. We're setting up our first festival this summer in Stuttgart, a 2-day festival.
Nice.
This is something we want to keep on going for the next 5 years at least, I hope. So there's still ways where we can still get bigger and do some
building
more
in a lot of different directions.
Yeah, I think, but this is really important nowadays. If you look at some old companies being there forever and just stick to their little, maybe good piece of market, what they do. But if you're not flexible enough, it changes so fast, just as you said. Even in Germany, we have the Eventim group, we have the other groups, we have the Live Nation coming in. We have so much concentration in the business. The German market is different. There will always be enough bands for smaller promoters, independent companies, local promoters, stuff like that. But if you want to get it become bigger and growth and everything like that, I think you need to just set up different ways and try to find new ways to make more shows and make money. Like I said, like producing our own content with the musicals, doing tours over there, try the local business there. Also, yeah, this is what we do.
I wanted to ask you if you have any advice for young people coming up in the business.
Yeah, I think they need to find the right spot in just following their passion, what they're up to do. You won't be long in that business or successful. Not everybody gets the right chance, but you have to try and find what's your thing. Is it like, being a promoter? Is it like working for marketing? Or is it like find your spot and look into as many companies as you can, make 3 months there, half a year there, go around, move around. There's so many different companies in Germany. There's the ticket sellers, there's the marketing companies, there's the TV stations, there's the big promoters, the small ones. Everybody's looking for good people. Everybody's hiring in Germany because we all need good stuff, and good stuff is very hard to find nowadays. So if you want to be in that business, go and try out as many things as you can and try to find the way that you think this is what you want to do, and then you're going to be successful.
Christian, I want to thank you so much for taking time to talk to me. I know English is not your first language, and I really appreciate you putting the effort in and taking time and talking to us on Promoter 101.
Pleasure for me. Thank you so much.
Christian is just doing great things in Germany. It was an honor to have him here on Promoter 101. From the Globetrotters to music, he does it all.
I'm Amy Morrison. I work at Concerts West, AEG Presents, and I'm on Promoter 101.
It's the end of the broadcast, episode 149 in the can. Thank you so much for tuning into this podcast. We really love and appreciate the listenership, following, the engagement, everything about it. We also have to give a big thanks to our wonderful guests on the podcast this week. From Spectacle Presents, Pete Lally, and from C2 Concerts over in Germany, Christian Dahl. 2 amazing interviews, Dan. If you like what you heard today, we want to hear about it. Send us your thoughts, send us your feedback. Write us at steiny@promoter101.net. That will hit both Dan and I. We'd love to hear from you.
For those of you that have made it to the end of the podcast, a little special something for you. We took a company trip down to Portland, Oregon this last weekend. And I got to tell you, you don't hear it much on the podcast because Connor keeps pretty quiet. But when you get him into a bar setting, he will snort salt. And he will ask bartenders to pour limes right in his eyes twice in the same evening. And then when he really starts to ramp up, he will ask you to kick him in the nuts. This is a whole different side of Connor.
This all very impressive to me. And the fact that it took place in Portland, Oregon is like even more fitting. So shouts to Connor. Make sure you follow him on Instagram.
It's an important thing to do. And they can follow you where on Instagram?
That would be at Connor Phoenix, yo.
And just to be clear, everything I just said, you can confirm happened.
100% true.
Snorting salt, man.
Snorting salt.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
I mean, I like the salt a lot, but I don't know if I could snort it, you know?
Clears out the sinuses real nice. You should try it.
I bet it would. The funny thing was Adam had walked away and everybody was talking about it when he got the lime squeezed in his eye by the bartender. And he's like, I didn't see it. Do it again. And Connor's like, sure. And did it a second time.
What a badass. If I see that in a bar, I'm like, I'm not fucking with that guy one bit at all.
It was definitely one of those moments. And it was funny. Rich Sellers and Nick Van Hood all hanging out, impressed with the amazing skills of Connor, taking it to a different level at the bar. I decided right about the time he was snorting salt, it was time to go to bed. We play at a different level, my friend. I haven't seen your level in, I don't know, many years. Anyway, we'll be back on Monday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. on the East Coast, right around the time The Who is taking stage Monday at Madison Square Garden, which I'm very excited that I will be in attendance for.
Very exciting evening planned ahead for you, Dan. What a great little birthday gift to yourself.
This is exactly what that was.
Yeah. Join us on Monday. We're going to have the president of APA, that's the Agency for the Performing Arts, Jim Gosnell. He's going to sit down and talk about running full-service agency and a very special one-on-one interview with Dan.
I got to say, this is one of the most entertaining hours of my life. It's going to be a little bit longer than most of our podcasts have been lately because Jim Gosnell is so interesting. We didn't want to cut anything. It's really good. So look forward to that one because, damn, that guy is amazing. Anyway, until then, we're wishing you sold-out shows for the week to come. Cheers.
Cheers. Call your mother.
I am Barbara Hubbard from New Mexico State, retired. We're in Promoter 101.
Ba-da-ba-ba.